Welcome to the Interstate METS Report with your hosts, Nelson and Chris. Would help if I hit the mic button. What's up, everybody? It's the Amish Country Mets fan, otherwise known as my real name, Nelson. Here with a special Friday night edition of the Interstate METS Report. If you look to my, or at least on my screen, it's to my left. I'm joined by a new special co-host today, my buddy Matt, aka Pask. You can catch him at Sunny Days in Flushing. Chris is out gallivanting in California, so he couldn't make it. So yeah, I got my buddy Matt here with me. It says CPNY Sports under his name. Sorry about that. We forgot to change it.
No worries. There's bigger problems in the world.
Yeah, there's
like the Mets pitching staff.
How you doing tonight, Matt?
Nelson, I'm doing well. I apologize for my tardiness. Thank you, and thank Chris for having me on the show tonight. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm at Sunny Day. I'm on Twitter. I'm at Flushing Sunny 41, and you could find her. But I haven't done any Mets work in a while. I've been very wrapped up in our football content. But come baseball season, on Twitter at Flushing Sunny 41. I'm sure we'll be doing a bunch of stuff once pitchers and catchers start up.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, you're busy with the Lions stuff. Your Lions are doing pretty good this year. Can't say the same for my Giants, so we won't even talk about them. So, I mean, it's funny. We haven't talked to you much lately, so it's funny because there's a lot to talk about, but at the same time, not really, because nothing's really gone on in Mets land. But we'll jump in here real quick. First thing we're going to talk about is the Mets starting pitching needs. We all know it isn't a big secret. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is the big target. And it seems as if until he signs, we're just doing little minor moves to fill out the bottom portion of the roster. You could argue it's a mistake to put all the eggs in his basket, but nobody else is signed of note, really. So, other than Eduardo Rodriguez, so I guess it's so far it's not hurting us. If we did see some of these other names fall off the board before Yamamoto and then lose out on Yamamoto, then we might have a problem. But for now, we're okay. So, what are your thoughts on the free agent market and how we approach this? And do you think it's smart to wait for Yamamoto to make a decision, basically?
I'm glad you asked my thoughts, because you go on Twitter and Jesus, Mets Twitter is a fucking cesspool. I mean, 365 days a year, it is a disaster. All right, the Mets could be 20 games below 500, 20 games above 500, and it is the same Frank the Tanks or the Eternal Optimists. And I think where me, you, and Chris fall to a degree, somewhere in the middle of that, right? We're centrists. I think we all need to relax. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not checking my Twitter constantly at my lunch break at work or when I get home, right? For any news on Yamamoto, I absolutely am. But let's all relax here, okay? I would have loved to have gotten Juan Soto. He's one of the best baseball players I've ever seen play. He's a fantastic hitter, a great plate appearance every time. Every time he makes the pitcher work for it. He's a tremendous fielder. I mean, there's very few flaws in the man's game, and he's a confident guy. But this is a guy that's a Boris client. There's a reason the San Diego Padres were able to get rid of him for very little in return, because not a lot of teams, they know how much he's going to cost. And what are Boris clients notorious for? Not extending, going to free agency and testing that market. And a guy like him that denied I think a $450 million extension for the Nationals. This is a guy that thinks quite highly of himself, for better or for worse. He knows he's going to make money. He's going to make, I think, something in the world of like 30 this year in arbitration. So, listen, good on the Yankees, but Met fans, you got to remember this. We play the Yankees 4 times a year. They're not in our division. Are they across town? Yes. Do we got to read about them and hear about them every day? Yes. Yes, we do. And you know what? Where you should be, in my opinion, we should have been more upset that Eduardo Rodriguez signed in Arizona than we should have been Soto signing with the being traded to the Yankees, right? Because the Soto thing we had no control over. Eduardo Rodriguez was a free agent. He's a pitcher. We need help in the pitching department. That's a guy to be more concerned with. Now, you're talking about all the eggs in the Yamamoto basket. I think that's a good route to take. This is a guy you need to be all in on. He's won the equivalent of the Cy Young in Japan over there 3 times. He's 25 years old. These things don't happen. He's most certainly a white whale, we believe. Everybody in the baseball community believes. That being said, man, I have a feeling you're gonna lean my direction here too. I would love to be on the phone right now with Jordan Montgomery, maybe Blake Snell, and try to sign them. And these guys are going to wait, right? They're going to do what everybody does. Yamamoto's the best guy in the market, presumably. So everyone's going to wait for Yamamoto to set the market because he's the best player. If you could, because we don't know who Yamamoto is. Steve Cohen had dinner with him. That's great. That's good. You flew to Japan. That's your job as owner. Like, you have a lot of money. Fly private to Japan. Have dinner with him and his family. Great. But we don't know who this guy is. We don't know what his inspiration was. We don't know if he grew up watching Tanaka and all. You know, we don't know that he didn't throw baseballs around in the park and think of himself as Masahiro Tanaka, right? Or I don't know what the fuck say his name is. We need to put our eggs in his basket because he's that good. He's that important. You got to make him feel important. But at the same rate, if Montgomery is willing to sign early, if Blake Snell's willing to sign early, I would go after one of those guys' insurance policy, man, because you don't want to happen. I just don't want to see a repeat of Trevor Bauer or George Springer where we are the pawn. We are the chess piece. I don't want to see that. You know, and I mean, listen, maybe that's PTSD. Maybe that's my fear of the past. And when you have the richest owner in American sports, those things happen. You're used as a chess piece. I get it. But I would like to see them sign one of those guys. That being said, I don't know that one of them will. It would be wise of them to sign after Yamamoto because they'll probably get more. But you know what? Like, I was thinking about this today. You tell me what you think. If you're the Chicago Cubs, right, and you're now out on Ohtani because you can't afford him, and you're out on Yamamoto because he's going to cost too much, can't afford him, why not call Jordan Montgomery and say, hey, what are you thinking? Okay, then call Blake Snell. Hey, what are you thinking? Okay, slide an offer over to Snell. Maybe it's a little lower, but slide it over. And then you call Montgomery's agent and say, hey, listen, we gave an offer to Snell. We're still in on Yamamoto. We're waiting on him to sign, but, we need an insurance policy here. So you call us. It's whoever calls us first, and maybe no one calls you back, right? But I would like to see them get one of these guys before Yamamoto. That's my long and short of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible. We're not behind the scenes. It's very possible these guys are all talking and they're setting things up for something like that. But at the same time, it does seem like none of these guys want to sign before they see what Yamamoto does to set the market. And I can't blame them for that. And if that's the case, that's actually an advantage to the Mets because if they're going to wait, then it doesn't hurt the Mets in any way that to wait for Yamamoto. And if they're going to wait too, then it all works out. But I'm not a Blake Snell guy. I really don't. If they're going to pivot off of Yamamoto, end up having to pivot off of Yamamoto, I'd rather go the Montgomery route. I'd rather look in on Imanaga. Seth Lugo reunion intrigues me, even though I don't think that's likely. See the name CP. Shout out to him for making the graphics for us. Brandon Woodruff and Tyler Mahle are both in blue. They're both hurt. That would be more of a sign and stash type of situation. Giolito, really like him at all.
I have a question about Woodruff. He's out all of next year, right? He had Tommy John.
Yeah, I think it was Tommy John, but yeah, he's
Okay,
out for the year. So that would be
that's what I
like a
figured. Yeah.
sign the guy for a 2-year deal and have him
Yes.
stashed for 2025 type deal, which is fine if they want to go that route. But I think more importantly now, like that, I think those two guys would probably wait till late in the spring to sign anyway. Um, I they obviously need to focus on guys that are going to pitch next year. We don't have much of a rotation, so yeah, I mean it's obvious. Like we Steve Cohen doesn't go out to Japan to meet with a guy if he's not all in on him, if he's not putting on a full court press. So he may still not sign with us, and that's fine. I mean, it'll suck, but at least I like to see our owner being aggressive, going out there. I mean, come on, you got Mets fans on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, saying that he's all in it for the casino money now, that he doesn't care about the Mets anymore, and blah blah blah. Listen, if he didn't care about the Mets, is he really going to fly to Japan to meet with Yamamoto? He would just send Stearns and call it a day. The dude's obviously trying. He wants to see this team succeed. He wants to bring a World Series here. It ain't going to happen overnight. Like
No.
that's what I've been preaching on this channel over and over again. This is gonna take time. It's not gonna be fixed in one off season. And I know Mets fans aren't known for their patience, but we got to chill. We got to relax with the doom and gloom. Sometimes
Comparing him to the Wilpons is
is that
just.
asinine?
I mean, we would not be in the Yamamoto sweepstakes. Like we wouldn't be. We wouldn't have Lindor. We wouldn't. We'd still be trotting Ahmed Rosario out there at shortstop. We probably would have traded Jimenez for like a sack of potatoes that Sandy Alderson thought had some value 10 years from now. Like we're not in the same world. Listen, have the wins directly translated? I mean, yes and no. Like they did win 101 games in 2022. You can't forget that, right? Like it went up in smoke, but I mean, geez, if they win that third game in the playoffs, like maybe we look about things differently. So don't compare this to the Wilpons. This is not. They were handed a disaster, and he's turning it around piece by piece. I'm sure he's a hard guy to work for, but this is a guy that expects results. He pays everyone that works for him, at least up in that office, makes quality money. All right, this isn't. They're not cheap in it. They're not going out. This isn't. Once again, it's not the Wilpons. We're not looking for the cheapest option out there. Like he is not scared to spend. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not been to Citi Field, come on down to Citi Field and come and see the difference in the stadium. Okay, and Nelson, what you just said with he's on that Met fans are he's only there to what did you think he was going to do? It's a wasteland across the street. Okay, I'm in the construction industry in New York. All right, I'm a laborer. I work out in the road. My union, part of was going to be one of many. We're going to be doing a lot of that work by Citi Field. That the city has wanted for years for a multi-billionaire to come in and take that project over, but no one's wanted to invest. We finally found a guy. Look at us. We were like homeless kids when we found someone that wanted to adopt us and give us a clean bed and heat and air conditioning in the summer. And we're complaining. We're complaining because we got a red Toyota instead of the silver BMW. I mean, let's relax here. Rome wasn't built in a day, Mets fans.
Speaking of red Toyotas and BMWs, I mean, people complained about the kind of car that Lindor got. It wasn't. They complained for the longest time that he didn't get him the car. Then he got him a car, and then it was a complaint that it was
Are you surprised?
Not
fancy. Are you
fancy.
surprised?
No, not really.
There you go.
Before we jump into the next topic, I just want to catch up on some of these comments. Appreciate everybody watching on their Friday night. Yuki says, "Hey Nelson and Chris." Well, Chris isn't here, but Matt, Shohei Putani, can you pick a team? Or really, man, it's getting ridiculous. Just sign somewhere for goodness sake. My guy Stony, hey Matt, Nelson, what's going on with this Otani news? I'm confused. I don't know, man. He was apparently on his way to Toronto, and now he's not.
Yeah, what's going on with that? I haven't checked.
No idea. Morosi reported that he was on a flight to Toronto. Turns out that was complete crap, and he's still in California somewhere. So nobody knows what's going on with Shohei Otani. Sonny Gray went off the board early. My guy AP, what are you doing live now? Mark Healy's in this. wait. Yeah. Shout out Mark Healy. Um, Stevie Matt, Stevie, you got to bring in two solid starters, and regardless of who they are. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
We definitely need at least, for sure, one top end starter, and then another maybe lower end guy. Um, we got explosive diarrhea. This screen name is hilarious to me. I'm annoyed Soto went to the Yankees. I get it. Some people are. I'm not. I'm not gonna lie. It is what it is. We were never gonna get him. We
No.
didn't have the right pieces to make the deal. Chris, what are you doing? Go have fun. You're in California. Where are you watching us two
Chris, you should be
fools
on a
here?
beach right now.
Seriously, go do something. I would say I would get more graphic, but this is a PG show. Do you guys think the Mets kids mascots are Mr. Mets or was Miss? What I have no idea what AP's
That's
crazy.
an odd question.
He likes to throw out random stuff.
Yo,
just to
Mrs. Met though. Mrs. Met's got some fucking junk in the trunk though. You know what I'm saying? She got a little fucking dump truck back there. I don't know. Maybe Mr. Red got a little fucking red rocket going on. I don't
Forget
know.
what I just said about it being a PG show. Matt threw that out the window.
I guess I just lost our Sesame Street sponsor.
Hit that thumbs up and subscribe to all three channels. Yeah, definitely do that. CP is a better promoter than I am. Mets fans seem to forget that Cohen spent a ton of money to bring in all these big names into the front office just a month ago. Yeah, he's doing his thing, man. Let Stearns and Cohen cook. Cohen, prove you love us and make a roof for. You'll be waiting on that for a while. Here's a new name, Daniel Kepskinen. Don't worry, Soto will leave. Here's open. Otani wants everything to be a secret. Yeah, it's getting a little out of hand. Like, I don't know why we gotta treat this like a CIA mission. You're signing a contract with a team, bro. Like, it's
well, I mean, like, dude, you're the biggest player in baseball. You're a unicorn. We've never seen this before. And listen, if Shohei Ohtani tells me to keep quiet about something, I'm going to keep quiet because you want Ohtani, right? If Shohei Ohtani tells me to paint my face blue and stick a thumb up my ass, I'm going to do that too. I don't give a shit, right? I want to see that guy play in my uniform. But it's his right. Like, you could be right to tell someone something that doesn't make you not an asshole for saying it. And that's where I am on Ohtani right now. Like, dude, you're the biggest thing in baseball. You're one of the biggest things in pro sports. You are help putting baseball back on the map. And you want things to be quiet when you talk to a team. I think that's silly. I think that's really silly. But
yeah, I agree. It's gotten silly, and I hope he just signs and we move on. Because let's face it, that's also causing a logjam in the free agent market. Like, everybody's waiting for these two guys to sign before they really start making moves, and it sucks for everybody else. It's just like there's tons of teams that are not in on any of these players, but everybody's hamstrung because we're waiting for two dudes to sign a contract. But let's move on to the New York Mets and our bullpen. Our bullpen, just like our starting pitching, needs overhauled. You could argue we've already done a pretty good job of that. I know the names aren't flashy, but for me personally, throwing names against the wall and hoping something sticks is actually not a bad way to build a bullpen. We do need, I think, a more solid seventh, eighth inning guy, but for these other roles, like, I have no problem signing these random dudes, Tonkin, and we got Jorge Lopez that signed, and what's that? The dude's name escapes me, Adams or something, Austin Adams, I believe it was. So we're just signing these guys. Most of them are fastball slider guys. Apparently, that's our MO for pitchers this year.
question: Yuki Matsui, is he another one of the kids from Japan?
Yeah, Yuki, I believe, is I want to say he's a reliever as well, maybe.
I think he is, because I remember I think he's a closer over there.
Yeah, I think he's a reliever out there, so he would be an interesting signing. There's the other Oh God, there's somebody else. I'm blanking. I've been sipping on some coquito, so I'm a little lost. But yeah, we signed Jorge Lopez to a 1 year, $2 million deal, I believe it was. This guy, listen,
Yeah.
if you look up his numbers, they're not pretty. Last year he stunk. Most of his career, he's kind of stunk. He's got an elite fastball. Um, he 2022 actually he pitched very well, but it's like the one outlier year where he pitched well. The one thing we got going for us, our bullpen coach, I think Jose Rosado's his name. He has a relationship with Jorge. They work together in Team Puerto Rico, the WBC. Jorge has pitched very well for Team Puerto Rico on the WBC. Maybe they can unlock something there. Like I said, I do like his velocity, but I mean it's nothing fancy. So, what are your thoughts on the moves we've made so far? And how do you think we shore up the rest of the bullpen? We got some names here on the screen. If you find any of them intriguing, or if there's something else, any other ideas you got?
I don't know what Yuki Matsui is going to cost, but I do remember people telling me about a kid coming from Japan in the bullpen that had a lot of promise. So I'm not sure if you have to pay a posting fee. I don't know anything about Yuki. I just had vaguely heard about him after I did some research on Yamamoto. Yeah, none of these names really excite me. Aaron Loop, 2021 was an anomaly with him. Or was it 22, right? When did he, it must have been 21 after he got that deal in LA with the Angels. Yeah, I don't know. David Robertson was great for us and then was awful for the Marlins last year. Hector Neris is like a very up and down. A lot of these guys are volatile, and I think it goes to show how important it was to re-sign and extend Sugar Diaz, man. I mean, it sucks that he got hurt in the WBC, but like that's fucking life. Like if he didn't get hurt in the WBC, he was going to get hurt in spring training. So to anyone that blames the WBC, it's not the WBC's fault. Okay, they can get hurt in spring training. They play games there. It goes to show how important Edwin is. It goes to show how important it is to have a closer. None of these names excite me. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, you want to try to bring it back one more year with David Robertson. Like, sure, if David wants to play for $3-4 million, I'll absolutely take a chance on David Robertson. But I'm not doing what we did last year, signing him to I think $10 million. Like, because he ended the season horribly. Like he was actually exactly worth his money last year because we traded him at the deadline and got some good acquisitions for him. Got some good pieces back for him.
I think the problem is the going rate for crap pitchers that are somewhat of a name is around at least $10 million. So I think if we end up with a guy like Robertson, we may end up with that same sort of deal.
What are your thoughts on Hicks?
To me, he's going to cost too much. I don't think the Mets want to spend as much as he's going to. I think he's going to take a multi-year deal for more money than Stearns wants to spend.
Right.
I like him. I like his arm. Also, another guy that can't control his pitches though. So that's an issue. I really like Yariel Rodriguez, man. He's an interesting character. Cuban pitcher that pitched out in Japan. He's kind of in the middle between he could start, he could be in the bullpen. Most teams view him as a bullpen piece. He could be like that swing arm type or he could pitch in the back end of the bullpen. Like he does intrigue me. Yuki is intriguing as well. Stanek, it's whatever. Aaron Loop. I mean, if you wanted to go, I don't think we're going the Aaron Loop route. I just don't.
I don't want to go that route. He had an anomaly year. Yeah. I just don't ever see that happening again.
Yuki makes a good point. Fujinami is a poor man's Jordan Hooks. Yeah, if you wanted to save some money and get a guy that's very Jordan Hicks light, Fujinami is a good bet. Another guy you have to harness his control. He throws phenomenally fast, but he cannot find the strike zone. So And those are tough pitchers to have in the bullpen because you don't want guys coming out of the bullpen walking the ballpark. Like you already put yourself behind the eight ball
Yeah.
when you have that going on.
What are your thoughts on them kind of just like definitely finding a setup guy, obviously having the closer, and then kind of just letting things play out until the deadline? Like, is that a like if you have a good starting rotation, right? Like let's for argument's sake, right? Let's say they bring in Yamamoto. Let's say they bring in maybe not Snell or Montgomery, but like let's just say Jesus Kershaw, Manaya, like maybe a Michael Lorenzen, right? As another guy. Let's just say, right? And I'm also going to assume if we've got Senga and Yamamoto, I'm assuming we're going to a 6-man rotation, right? Does that make sense to you too?
Yeah,
So
that's more than likely going to be the case.
if you've got a solid rotation and you've got a good lineup that scores, I feel like you could get to the deadline if you're a few games over 500, or like I guess depending on the rest of the league is looking, you could kind of like we've got the farm system to go after bullpen pieces. Not that you really want to do that, but like none of these names excite me. None of these names make me say like, oh, we have to make heaven and earth meet to get that guy. And actually, what about Hader? Isn't Hader a free agent, or he's still?
Yeah, Hader's a free agent, but he's going to cost a ton. He's more than likely going to want to close. I don't see that being something
You don't think
we.
you could sell him on a setup role?
No, and I just don't think that's. I mean, the Mets are going to have a budget, and I just don't think he fits in our budget.
If they sign Yamamoto, I think they're blowing past the budget. Whatever the
Oh
budget
yeah, for
is.
sure for him, but just don't think they're just going to keep adding other really
Right.
expensive pieces. They're going to
Okay.
have to draw a line somewhere. Um, but I totally agree with you. I honestly think that's what Stearns is doing with all these minor signings he's making. I think he's got enough arms, or just about, that he will find that one like late inning guy. I don't know that it's necessarily any of these guys. It might be a trade for that matter. So I think that's the route. I think right now we're probably just looking for that one dude that can pitch late in the game, and we're just the other guys are just going to be these low end signings. And I honestly do not have one single problem with that because these bullpen arms are so up and down. One year they're great, one year they stink. You never know what you're going to get. So
I
I'm
have
fine with this.
I have two thoughts on that just popped into my head. Is that is one of those bullpen roles potentially already on this roster in the name of Tyler McGill, David Peterson, or Joey Lucchesi? Now, I don't think any of those guys, but what does David Stearns maybe think? Like, I think Lucchesi's going to be, I think he's going to be in the Trevor Williams role this year. I think he's going to be a long reliever, like, come in when someone's shit in the bed in the sixth, in the second or third inning, when you need 2, 3, 4 innings out of a guy. But hey, maybe they look at David Peterson as a guy that like could potentially have a role in the bullpen. Maybe I'm not sure, because this was a guy that was selected high. He was a guy that showed a lot of promise in 2020. I mean, there was no fans, but he showed a lot of promise and a lot of composure.
Only issue with him is he's going to be hurt for, I think, a good part of the chunk of the first half of the season.
What was his surgery?
I don't remember what it was.
Is it like a toe?
No, I think that was Carrasco. It's something in his arm, I believe.
Okay.
I don't know, but it's something that's keeping him out for a while. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a route they could take using.
Oh, and then I had another question for you.
I have much faith in any of those guys, if I'm being really honest.
I have no faith in McGill. Now I have a question for you, and I don't know if you guys have touched this on one of your previous shows. Going back to the starting rotation, if some things don't work out the way we expect them to, do you see Corbin Burns as an option in the trade market? Trading away some of those pieces we got out of Verlander, Scherzer, Robertson, Like,
I think it all depends on what happens with Yamamoto. I don't think we'd go that route if we sign him.
no. But I'm saying
But
if we miss on like Monty and Yamamoto.
yeah, if we miss out, I could see that. The Brewers have said he's available, which
Right.
um and I don't think it would cost a ton. So I think we could make that work. I do want to catch up here because there's been quite a few comments rolling in, so I don't want to ignore the people. This is who we do it for.
Nelson's a man of
Daniel
the people.
said that Daniel said I would have loved to seen Hader, Diaz, eighth and ninth. Yeah, like I said, I just think that's going to be a little bit expensive. Any updates on the Mets interested in outfielders or any free agents for DH? Stern said he wants an outfielder. We rumors were we really like that Hu Lee from Korea. Michael Taylor is another name that came up. I know there's a very different spectrums on the talent level, but we'll see where it goes. I really think we're not going to move on any of these things until Yamamoto makes a freaking decision. Maybe it's me. I don't mind Stern signing all these arms for our bullpen. Just don't want to repeat of last season. Completely agree. Stoney heard a rumor Otani took a jet to see Stearns and Cohen in Japan. Nah, that was a BS fake, a fake Andy Martino account tweeted that out. A lot of people fell for it. You got to be careful these days on the Twitter streets. A lot of phony accounts out there. Fujinami, I already got to that one. CP for some reason is still here and he's watching Ronnie Mauricio in the Winter League. I don't know what this kid is doing, man. We need to like do a guy's trip and like straighten this kid.
Chris, what the fuck kind of vacations do you go on, bro? If I'm in LA, if I'm in Cali and I'm watching Ronnie Mauricio Winter League baseball and I'm stone cold sober,
get my head examined. 641 in LA right now, or wherever in California he is.
Could be stuck in traffic.
That's possible. He says definitely not true. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Yep, drop the comments. Our guy Matty.
Oh, Ibby, Poison Ibby, what's up, kid?
What up, Ibby? Make sure you check out the Till Mets Do Us Part podcast. Him and his boy, I believe John is his name. They do a great job. Peterson had hip joint surgery. Thank you, Yuki. Thank you. Peterson's out to mid-June. Stevie Mac thinks it was elbow. Stevie, you're wrong. Sorry, I was wrong too.
Ibby.
Well, I didn't know you had a fan, Pask.
No, Ibby's my boy. I actually haven't talked to Ibby in a while. Ibby, I'm gonna hit you up after the show.
You shouldn't fall for a fake Martino because we're blocked by the real.
No, yo. Wait, can I tell a good Martino story? So
go ahead.
I called Andy Martino an ass clown on my main account, and that cocksucker blocked me. Him and fucking Sal Licata. And then Sal Licata unblocked me, which is the weirdest thing. I've never had that happen before. So when I created the Sunny Days in Flushing account, I'm so used to like having people screenshot me Andy Martino tweets, and Andy Martino just came up on my timeline. I was like, oh, it's weird. I thought I was blocked, and I was like, oh wait, he doesn't know what this is. But I don't follow him. Fuck that guy. I'm not getting him a follow. He's a piece of shit. And I hope when Steve Cohen buys SNY, he gets rid of Andy Martino. So fuck him. And you know what, Steve, Andy, fuck your fucking Beatles dolls too. That shit's weird. It's very uncomfortable. No one likes that. No one likes it. It's super uncomfortable. I love the Beatles. I love them. Yoko Ono totally fucked it up. I get it. But the dolls, kids play with dolls, bro. Put them up on a shelf. Put those things in a closet. No one's got to see that. That's uncomfortable. That's okay. You don't. I'm not gonna. This is PG. This is PG. I'm sorry.
No, forget it. At this point, this is the Friday night unhinged version of the Interstate Mets report. So let it fly, Chris. You can't switch accounts on us. And what? Just go do something.
I don't know. Is that CP? That's our Chris.
Gotta be the same dude. This is
Chris. I'm married. Listen, not into guys, but you do you, and I am flattered. I am flattered, and I'll let my wife know that somebody else on the internet finds me attractive, and it's not an advertisement for single moms 3 miles away. So
he referenced the Three Amazing Amigos, so I'm pretty sure only us three know about that. So that is definitely our boy CP.
That would be a good OnlyFans page name.
Switching accounts out of, I don't know. Are you that bored? Seriously, answer the question. John Salom blocked everyone for some reason. Yeah, I don't know what his deal is. I don't pay attention to
Salesman
that
ass.
troll. Said Martino versus right away. Oh goodness. Even the chat's unhinged tonight. Chris and at Matty Banez, Stoney thinks your guys are funny. You tell him Matt, CPA One Sports about Martino. Keeping y'all on your toes. I'm always supporting the boys, even on vacation. Support yourself. Go do something.
Yeah, go treat yourself, Chris. Come on, go buy an ice cream.
You should be out getting like trashed right now.
Yeah, you should be.
Matt, your thoughts on the Mets backside blasted in the draft?
I don't know what that means.
This comment sounds inappropriate, but I think he wants your thoughts on the Mets dropping 10 spots in the MLB draft lottery.
Dude, I had no fucking clue. I didn't even know. That's
Matt,
so out of left field.
The draft lottery happened.
Yeah, dude. Listen, the Lions are. I'm a Lions fan. The Lions are playing great football right now. I do a football show and I do a Lions show. I do 4 football shows a week. That's occupying a lot of my time right now. I'm now getting back into Met stuff because it's winter meetings and but the fucking draft, that's Nelson stuff right there. That's the weeds. That's the weeds that Nelson lurks in. Nelson gives a full scouting report on every draft pick. Nelson is your guy, ladies and gentlemen. If you were looking at Mets draft picks, you want to know what a shortstop did at Sam Houston State in 2021 in the Fallwood Bat League. Nelson is your guy. Go to Nelson because Nelson will give you a full fucking report. He'll tell you what he ate for lunch 2 days ago and what time he shit this morning, and if he brushes twice a day. So go to Nelson.
I don't know about all that, but I did go pretty in depth.
Very in depth.
Very in depth this year.
You did a phenomenal job on that.
Appreciate it. But yeah, we went down 10 spots in the draft. It's BS. The MLB has it out for us. The Steve Cohen freaking rules it's ridiculous. Just so everybody knows, I put a banner up. You're watching the Friday night uncensored version of the Interstate Mets report. So if you have kitties around, please hide them. Make sure
hide your kids.
While we're at it, follow. It says us, but Matt's pretty much a part of us. Follow us on X at Interstate Mets. Follow Chris, even though he's watching the show, even though he should be out doing something else. Follow him on X and Instagram at CPNY Sports. Subscribe to his channel at CPNY Sports. Subscribe to my YouTube as well at Amish Country Mets Fan. Follow me on X at Amish Country Met. We don't have a banner for you. I'm sorry I forgot to do one, but go ahead and plug your channels. I know it's Flushing Sunny 41 on
Yes. The good old Friday night butt plug. Here we go. On YouTube, we are Sunny Days Media 516. We do, like I said, football shows. I have a Detroit Lions base show, which probably affects no one here except Stevie Mack, my fucking boy Stevie. Dude, that guy. When you tell the fans, when you tell everyone tuning in, hey, put your notifications on, subscribe to the show. Let me tell you something. Stevie Mack does that shit. And when the day comes that we make some Sunny Days Media shirts, Stevie Mack is getting a fucking shirt. This guy is on every show. He's commenting. He's promoting. Credit to Stevie Mack. And yes, I am on Twitter at Flushing Sunny 41. And then also at Pask. I don't know. That doesn't matter. Follow the baseball one. Flushing Sunny 41. And that's where I'm at. Did you miss me a little, Nelson? You need a little PG-13, grind the gears a little bit, fist up the ass, right?
I don't know. Well, whoa. What do the kids say? Pause.
Pause. Yeah.
Pause.
I'm on the vodka seltzers tonight, right? You're on the coquito. What is it? Cojito?
Coquito.
Coquito. Paquito. Ooh, Tampico.
What was I going to say? I already lost my train of thought. Oh, no. Stevie Mack. Shout out Stevie Mack. He's every
OG
show we do, he's there. So shout out to him.
He's a dog. He's a dog.
let's go ahead and jump. Actually, I need to catch up on these comments are rolling in. So let me. Where did we leave off? We
Do you
were
see
talking
my
about.
effect, Nelson? I get the people going.
Hey, you
I
get
get
the
e-
people
I get the
going.
people going.
Provocative. uh, why are the Mets not in on Hicks and Stevenson? I don't know that. Shout out, Mike. I don't know that we're not. I just think the market's kind of stagnant right now, and we're just kind of waiting on this freaking Yamamoto
the
BS.
the only thing that's public with the Mets is we know we're in on Yamamoto, and that's it. They're being very quiet
Exactly.
about everything else. So
I forgot I had this account in all honesty, but good job, fellas. Okay, I'm out of here. Yeah, get the hell out of here, bro. Like, what are you doing? CP, the edibles in Cali are wonderful. Go get some and sit on a beach. That's fantastic advice. The lottery was screwed the moment. Excuse me. Oh, whew. I guess that last sip of coquito went down a little hard. The lottery was screwed the moment it was said to be hosted by Brad Paisley. That was very weird. I know they were in Nashville, but I don't know what Brad Paisley has to do with anything. Mike, those are the two relievers you want the most. Hey, that's it. Not too Sam Houston. What's Sam Houston got to do with anything? You're on mute.
I'm talking to myself like a fucking idiot. My dog's over here looking at me like I got 7 heads. No, Sam Houston was when I was talking about your scouting reports.
Oh,
He'll tell you what the pitcher at Sam Houston did 2 years ago.
that's how with it I am. I forgot about that, and that was less than like 5 minutes ago. Unless they're trading for one, I'm out. Yeah, man. Enjoy your Friday night, brother. I don't know what you guys are doing here watching us, but we appreciate you anyway. You shouldn't be able to go down 10 spots in the draft. What the fuck? That's too much. I love how that strand of comments came in. Matt's enjoying himself. I like Stevenson, Hicks, and the Cuban kid. Why are they not like I said? I just
We
think
don't know.
we're keeping things very quiet right now. Steve Mack is a man always supporting. Yes, sir. M Easy in the house. My favorite troll slash fan. Is Dylan C still available? Apparently, the White Sox. I mean, I haven't heard that they have taken him back off the trade block, so he's available. But what's it going to take to get him? I don't know.
I think it's the
Quiet.
same thing with the Yamamoto stuff. I think they're waiting for Yamamoto to be dealt.
Yeah, quiet shit better not be because they're calling back. I don't know what that means. Oh, scaling back, scaling back. I don't think that's happening. Um, Stearns has a plan. We just got to have some faith. Matt, I'm married with 2 kids. Where else would I be? Good point. Once you're married, I feel like you're neutered, and Friday nights are no longer about going to have fun anywhere. So you need to go visit Nelson.
Bro, I said this. No, I said this over the summer. I want to do a live show from the farm with the pigs, and then I want to take a pig. I'll buy it. I'll purchase it. It's a farm. I understand your taxes. I get it. Cash deal, under the table type of thing. Nobody knows. Uncle Sam gets enough money, right? They tax the farmers too much. All right? We're here for the farmers. We drink Bush Light for the farmers. For Nelson, I want a pig. I want a little baby pig, right? Little baby pig. And my wife said if I win lotto or something, because she does not like pigs. I don't know what it is. She doesn't like pigs. She said I can't have a pig. But she said if we get a bigger house, I could get a pig and I could build him. I just want a pig. I just want a pig, and you own pigs. And if we could get a little guy and I could take him home and I could name him Paquito or Pete or, something Mets related, maybe Steve, Mookie, I don't know, Daryl, Dwight. And I want to keep him in the backyard. I'll build a little pen for him, a little heater so he stays warm in the winter. He can hang out with my dog. And I don't want to make bacon. I could buy that at the store. I just want a little pig. And my wife keeps saying no. So, yes, whoever had that comment, I'm dying to do a show at the farm next year. I want to take a ride. But the Amish, a little iffy on the Amish. Get a car. Get a smartphone. You know?
The Mennonites are a step up. They're like very similar. But no, I live around the Amish. They're not that bad. Um,
Here's the good part about the Amish. We could talk all the shit we want about them. They'll never find out. They will never find out.
All right, let me get. Well, oh God, AP. Do you think San Francisco Giants hang out with the New York Giants?
I think they get lunch together. Yeah.
This is a Mike Francesa throwback. Yeah, I think for sure they're at a Red Lobster somewhere as we speak. All right, let's dive into this so we can before we're here all night. Mets offensive needs and available bats. David Stearns has said we want an outfielder. Whether that means it's starting outfielder or a bench outfielder, who knows? I'm not in David Stearns' head. I would prefer a guy that can start. I would also prefer a DH that doesn't suck. So, yeah, if we, I'm all for getting a bat. Otani's not that bat, so please don't bring me Otani crap. Unless we get breaking news and he actually signed a contract. So our top free agents available are Teoscar Hernandez, Jorge Soler, JD Martinez, Justin Turner, Jung-Hoo Lee, Jock Peterson, Reese Hoskins, Eddie Rosario, Adam Duvall, and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. What do you think, Matt? Does any of these names intrigue you?
Yeah.
We need an outfielder. Do you want somebody else? Where are your...
Steve is putting a lot of money into all that area across from Citi Field. If Steve wants to also add a boxing ring or an octagon, we could make this really interesting and fun. Bring back Tommy Pham and Jock Peterson every night, brass knuckle fight. Winner gets to play DH. Fun? Maybe? No, in all seriousness, that was a bad joke. I thought you'd laugh. JD Martinez. Last year, JD Martinez, just quick stats on him. JD Martinez batted .271, 33 home runs. I don't know what his on base was. His on base 321, OPS 893. That's not bad, man. Then that's a lot more than what we got out of Daniel Vogelback, which we probably shouldn't set the bar at that. Any route they want to go at DH. I mean, like, what are your plans with 2024, right? Like, if we miss on all of these guys, if we miss on Yamamoto and we don't get it, Montgomery and Snell, then you know what? Yeah, dude, play the young guys and let it play out. But if you kind of have a nice pitching staff, you are going to have to fill out this lineup. And I would like to bring in JD Martinez. He's, I think, 33 years old, right? What? Let's contract.
He might be a little older than that. I don't know.
Is he? He's 36, so he's older, but the power hasn't slowed down. And 271's not bad. I mean, getting 271, 33 home runs out of your DH is not bad. So out of that list, I don't know. What do you think of Teoscar and Jorge Soler? Actually, Reese Hoskins.
My main preference is Jung-Hoo Lee first and foremost. To man he might very well take over for Nimmo in center field, but either way, he could play left field, center field, whatever. But that would be my number one. If we can't land him, I really do like Teoscar. I viewed him more as a DH guy, but if we decide to go with him in left field, I guess that's okay. Soler, he's all right. JD as a pure DH is good. I do like Reese Hoskins a lot. I like Reese Hoskins for a couple reasons. A, he could DH. B, if Pete gets hurt, if Pete, God forbid, doesn't re-sign a contract, if Pete, whatever number of things happen with Pete Alonso, Reese Hoskins could step into first base. So I think that's like a dual, like you could have him do that. He's before he got hurt, he was a very solid bat with the Phillies. I like that idea. So honestly, there's not a ton of names on this list I hate. Adam Duvall, Rosario, whatever. Gurriel's an intriguing one as well. It just depends on, I guess, on how much money we want to spend and how much money we spend on Yamamoto if we sign him and everybody else. So, yeah, I do think, though, we need, at the very least, we need a DH, a real DH. We don't I'm sorry. I don't think we have one. I know Vientos is here, but I still need to see something out of that kid. Um,
What What are your thoughts on Jesse Winker? Like that's a Met killer. I know he's
yeah,
been
it's a Met
hot and
killer who
cold.
hasn't hit all that well. Um, I don't know.
Bad average last year and the year
Yeah,
before.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It would be interesting to see him in New York. He seems to thrive on the attention and whatnot. So I don't know if that would help him or not. But
Who's the
yeah,
one from? Was he? Did he play in Seattle? Was he a Red? He was a
Winker
Red
was
and a
a
Seattle
pick, and
Mariner.
then he might have. Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Did he end up in Seattle at some point?
Yeah.
He might have. I
I
don't know. I
think
don't
he
follow
got
that closely.
traded
It was when he
there.
was with the Reds that he was actually hitting well and
Pulling
trolling
it
us
up.
every
I don't
chance
want
he
to
could
Gallo.
get.
I Gallo.
You do like Gallo, or you
Um.
don't like Gallo?
No, I don't. I can't stand Joey Gallo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, me either.
I know he's not on the
Um,
graphic. I'm just looking at. I'm just looking at free
you
agents
yeah,
here on
you're just looking
Spotrac.
at your own list.
Yeah.
Hold on for a second here. I want to also like Montgomery and the lefty Japanese pitcher. Yeah, Imanaga, Montgomery. I like those guys too. Stevie Mack thinks you should name the pig Pig Damon. Interesting name. Game for War is had enough of David Stearns already. Dumpster diving Dave still thinks he's in Milwaukee and playing Moneyball, getting a bunch of no name scrubs. I don't feel that's fair. I think
He's getting
he's
depth.
filling out. Yeah, he's signing depth, filling out the lower ends of the roster until things get moving. What names have gone off the board that everybody's clamoring for? Like that's what I want to know, really. Like who has really fell off the board that we really missed out on
And
and legitimately made sense? Like Juan Soto wasn't coming here on a trade. We weren't a fit as far as trade packages are concerned.
I
So
well, I think we had more to offer than the Yankees, but I also think a lot of teams didn't want to trade for him, like I said before, because they know he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year.
yeah,
Like,
but I agree with you in that we probably had more to offer, but not what they wanted. We don't have those major league ready
ready, yeah.
pitchers that they seem to covet. So
You're 100% right.
that's really what they wanted.
Yeah.
The Mets weren't ever getting it. Mike, no Soler, Turner, Peterson, or Duvall. No Taylor. Got it, Mike. M Easy, Reese Hoskins. He likes Reese Hoskins. It's nice to agree with M Easy. I know you haven't been around Mike, but me and M Easy have this love hate thing, where we disagree, then we agree, then we hug, then we yell at each other. It's a whole ordeal.
Reese Hoskins would be awesome. I would actually love to have him. I would.
Ibby loves Winker, but I think I'd rather have a beer with him as opposed to watch him hit 199.
I'm
Very,
just basing this off of the fact that he's a Met killer. Like that's I do love his personality.
Michael Mass. What up, Michael? I haven't seen your name around. Appreciate you stepping in. Hi guys, how are you doing? I'm good. How are you, Matt? You're on mute. You're talking to
I
yourself.
keep right clicking this fucking laptop. I got sausage fingers. I'm good. I'm good, Michael.
Eduardo Virgil. Yeah, yeah, he's the one guy I guess so far that if based on his contract and everything, he went off the board. But some tells I don't know. He just
I
I don't
don't
know
think they
that he,
wanted him. I don't think they
yeah,
wanted
it
him.
doesn't feel like they really wanted him for whatever the reason that would be.
And
I
I
don't
loved
know.
him. I loved him.
Yeah.
His issue is his injuries. I mean, that's kind of it because he's had a good career when he's playing.
Yeah, that seems to be every pitcher's freaking problem. Then we got our
You,
last little slide.
I had one more guy actually that we
Oh,
didn't bring up.
who do you
Can I
got?
ask you about him?
Yeah, sure.
Michael Lorenzen. What do you think about him as a backup plan? Like if some of the, or like if you get Yamamoto and the other like Snell and Monty and Urias, like if none of those things pan out and you just get Yamamoto, like are you opposed to Michael Lorenzen as like your number 5 starter? He just might what's
I don't
the
really thought about is he's a free agent for sure.
he's a free agent, yeah, and he threw a no hitter last year. Market value is $10 million roughly. It's like 9.2. What was his? Let's find out what his ERA was last year, just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, I guess he is a
Um,
Yeah, I mean,
4.18. Like that's not bad, dude. Like that's that for your number 4 or 5 starter. That's not bad. I'd take that.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily. I would. I don't know. I don't love it. I don't hate it. If he's a guy we ended up. The thing with him is he's not. He's kind of like been one of those dudes where you don't really like. He started, but he's mainly come out of the bullpen.
Mm. He
Um,
started last year.
yeah, I don't know. I
Listen, I
haven't heard his
think
name much, so I don't know what the deal is with that. But
I think you would be
it worked.
happy with him. I think you would be happy with him if we got Yamamoto and we got another starter. Like if you just brought in Lorenzen.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
Giolito's another guy, man. Like Giolito, I know he had a bad year last year, but like he's got good stuff. Like if you're taking a chance on him as your number 4 or 5 starter, that's not that bad. Or your number 6 if we're a 6-man rotation.
Yeah, Easy says Lorenzen Clevenger. Honestly, I like Lorenzen and Clevenger more than Giolito. I would go
Clevenger's
either.
got clubhouse issues.
Yeah,
I
but
think he had a domestic violence case or something last year.
yeah, which is why I think the Mets probably stay away. But just based on pitching wise, like I like him and Clevenger or him and Lorenzen better than Giolito. Yeah, I have no issues with. I mean, those would be, in my opinion, solid additions. So yeah, I'm good with that. All right, let's wrap it up with other news. We've kind of touched on these already. We've kind of been bouncing around.
We didn't talk
So
Otani.
yeah, let's get we'll jump into that. Soda the Bronx is whatever. We've already, I think that's been beat like a dead horse enough. Erod did sign with the D-backs. We do think that was a bit of a miss, but for whatever reason, there didn't seem to be interest there. Otani, what the hell is happening with Shohei Otani? Why is he keeping everything a secret? Is he gonna be a Dodger? Is he gonna be a Blue Jay? Do you think there's an imaginary fairy tale team out there? What do you think?
I know this. I've heard from multiple sources, Jeff Passan being one of them. Um, somebody else too. I think John John Heyman's an asshat, but there's a mystery team. No one knows who that mystery team is. Um, could be the Cubs. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know who it is. Right now, it seems like it's between Toronto. Like it seemed like today he was going to Toronto. Everybody was tweeting it. And John Morosi, you're another asshat. You keep leaving the Mets out on all these fucking graphics. You're not bringing the Mets up with Yamamoto. You're not bringing the Mets up with the Mets with Montgomery. All these guys, the Mets are in on these fucking guys. John, get over it. I know you got a Yankee, you got a Yankee top hat up your ass, but get over it. All right, Steve Cohen's here. He's got a wallet the size of my mother's lasagna, and he's out here. He's ready. He's ready to pay. This guy's ready to pay.
He did. I'll give him credit. He did finally put out a video today that said,
"Oh, he finally brought us up. He finally acknowledged us.
He finally said that he thought the Mets were in the hunt for Yamamoto and could very well be the front runner. So
you know what this is like.
He finally gave us credit.
You know what this is like for any historians out there. A number of years ago, Pope John Paul II went in front of the world and like finally acknowledged that Galileo was right. I think it was Galileo, and that the world revolves around the sun. Like 2,000, whatever, 700 years after the guy's fucking dead, 6 feet under, we're going to acknowledge, you know what? The guy with the telescope, that Greek guy, yeah, he was right. He was right. We were wrong. Like, all right, John. Thanks. Thanks, John Morosi. Yeah, thanks for finally acknowledging us, you fucking asshat. Of course we're in on these guys. What do you think? Steve Cohen's going to sit here with a thumb up and say, did you see how pissed off Steve was when the reports came out of what Scherzer said that they were going to tear things down in 2024? They weren't going to be competitive. Motherfucker, they wanted you out of the building. You had a no trade clause. This was the way to get rid of you. They were going to tell you anything. They called you the prettiest girl at the ball just to get you the fuck out of here. Of course.
Yeah.
You know how many roast beef sandwiches I ate because of that guy? Because he supposedly ate a roast beef sandwich every start and pitched better. I had roast beef sandwiches every 5 days for 2 years because of you. My doctors call me about my cholesterol levels. I'm 27 years old. This is a problem. This is a fucking problem.
Oh, this show is unhinged. It's crazy. But no, Morosi, the fact that Morosi was, it almost seemed intentional in leaving us out of his little tweets is just ridiculous. It's like, what are you, I mean, what are you trying to pull, fucking asshat?
He's a jerk off.
All these writers, man, why do all these guys suck?
They're on a high horse, bro. They're on a fucking high horse. You're right about baseball. You think you're fucking better than me?
Yeah, it's ugly, man. This is, oh, I mean, seriously, what? Not only that, but all these fake assholes on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, that literally just make up crap and put sources in front of it. I want to blow these guys all into the sun. Like, what are you doing? Stop it. The clicks is not worth it. Like, what are you? Your Elon's not going to send you $1 million check. You're going to get $10 just like the rest of us. Like, like this is ridiculous. I can't. There's this guy. I'm going to call him out because he's horrible. His name is Betts. And literally all he does is spend all day on X making up stuff. The other day he said Soto was to trade to the Mets was imminent. I'm like, what do you do? Per sources, I'm like, what do you do? And then people were actually feeding into it, and I'm like, oh my god, what are we doing? Is this and every account that starts with Mets or MLB and ends in rumors, scoops, cast.
I think MLB rumors. I think is like a legit. I think
MLB trade rumors is. There's one that just says MLB rumors. That's just BS.
Yeah.
MLB ice cream scoops and MLB. I banged a reporter once, and MLB. It's just
MLB's got some hot reporters though. They do. Can't. Some of the chicks that work at MLB Network. There's something else.
It hurts me. It really does. And then you get in these spaces with these people that think they know things, and they just it's just
Twitter Spaces. That's another cesspool, man. Oof.
They just go on and on and on and on and on and on and on, and it's just, I get it. I love some of you guys do it. I love. They're good dudes. It's like, come on, people. Like, what are we doing? And why are we acting like this one jerk off is like the end all be all and knows everything about everything? When he's just a fan like the rest of us, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like people just like to put people on a pedestal, just random dudes, and say that this is the guy. He knows stuff. I don't understand it. Like, Ibby probably knows more about the Mets than most of these guys.
Yeah. Ibby's a dog. That's my dog.
That's my rant. I just had to. It's getting old. I something needs to start happening because I'm losing it. I'm running out of things to talk about. I'm doing these videos every day. There's just nothing to talk about. It's just the same crap over and over.
There's a lot of speculation, so there's a lot to talk about, but it all kind of goes back to nothing.
Yeah,
it's all speculation until something happens. It's all speculation, which is like, I guess because I guess we're wrapping up here. What I would leave Mets fans with is relax. Nothing has happened yet. Listen, if Yamamoto goes to the Bronx or he goes to the Phillies or the Braves, yes, there's reason to be pissed. Or the Dodgers or anywhere else, there's reason to be mad. Yes. But you know what? Guys, we know nothing about Yamamoto. We know nothing. It was great that Steve flew there. It was great that he had dinner with his family. All that's great. But maybe Yamamoto doesn't want to be a Met. And you know what?
What do you think they had for dinner, man? That's the important thing. What do you think they ate?
Well, they went to a French
Japanese. What is that? Yeah. What is even that?
I don't know, bro. What the fuck do the French eat? I don't know anything about those people. They smoke a lot of cigarettes, and their language is dog shit. It's ugly. It sounds terrible. I don't like it. It's not attractive. I don't have a lot of good things to say about the French. Nothing against them, but I also don't know a lot of French people. So
you know where we could really get, if we could figure out who the waitress or waiter was at this meal.
Don't go down this road. Don't go down this road.
Find out
Don't go down
find
this.
out what everybody ate. Find out, we could get somewhere. We could throw
There's a
sources
running.
and
There's a
put it
running.
out.
There's a running joke in Detroit about limo drivers because when Khalil Mack was a free or when he was on the trade block, there was a guy that claimed he was a limo driver and he drove Khalil Mack from the Detroit airport to the Lions facility, and I forgot who the fuck it was. But it ended up being like a 36-year-old free agent that like was washed up, and like literally an hour after posting that, we all got excited. Khalil Mack gets traded to the Bears. So don't get caught up in limo drivers and waitresses and bartenders and pilots and
Don't ruin my dream, Matt. I want to find out what restaurant this was, what they were eating. I'm just more intrigued in what they were eating. I don't even want to know what they were talking about.
imagine being a fly on the wall. Imagine being a fly on the wall in that restaurant though. Like what was Steve saying? What was Steve saying?
Well, the thing is, everything. I'm assuming everything would have had to go to an interpreter, so that
Interpret,
makes
of course,
the conversation like it takes long enough to talk about these things, but you double that when you're involved interpreters, and I guess the family was there and everything else.
Whenever I see the interpreter, did you ever see The Departed? Do you know where I'm going with this?
I'm not sure where you're going with this, but I seen The Departed.
Okay. Do you remember when they're doing that trade deal with Jack Nicholson and the guys from China, and they have the interpreter? That's every time they talk about interpreters.
That's what you think of?
That's what I think of. That scene pops in my head, and I start screaming at the TV, and my wife thinks I have a problem.
Well, you do, but that's okay. We all do. Subway to Shea, our guy Ant. Great podcast, by the way. Check him out as well. Did a great job with Shea and Sons the other day on a live stream. His sauces say Yamamoto will sign with an MLB team at some point before the season. My sauces concur. They said the same exact thing to me right before we jumped on the show. So we're right here. We're right here. Lindor, Nimmo, and Diaz all had a meal with Cohen and got paid. Time to make it 4 for 4 at Yamamoto. Couldn't agree more. That's
Not to throw water on that, but I want to say DeGrom did too.
Don't do it. Nah, DeGrom didn't need shit. DeGrom was gonna sign. Then he didn't love us. Screw him. Senga's interpreter went with Cohen. I think the rumor has Senga went with Cohen. So,
awesome.
I love how Senga is very involved in all this, and it's like
he should be. He should be.
My boy, let's go.
He should be. Who are you going to call? Kaz Matsui? Like, of course, yeah. He should. Yeah, what a disaster.
They should have brought Kaz over to Shinjo. Remember Shinjo? Tsuyoshi Shinjo? You don't remember him? Bring him over. They have a whole have a whole reunion. You don't like that idea.
No. Senga is a quality. Senga's the guy to have. And you know what though? In all seriousness, I think they did play together on the national team at one point, right? In 2017, was it? Didn't they have the World Baseball Classic?
I honestly don't know.
Well, they have to know about each other, right? Like baseball's not a big role.
They definitely know each other. Mr. Koo, that's a good one. Mr. Koo would have definitely been invited to this meeting as well. The way they handled Senga last season should be their selling point. They will take care of Moto. That's a excellent point. To get serious for a second, I know we've been goofing off. Senga, his relationship with Jeremy Hefner, the strides you could tell he made throughout the season, like that's a great selling point right there. The fact that he was able to come into the Mets and adjust and be comfortable. You could tell he felt good. He had great numbers. He just kept improving throughout the season. I mean, to me, I hope they hammered that home. Like, bro, this is the game plan right here. Like, this is how we do it. So, yeah, I hope that's how it worked out. Shinjo, he should be. I'm telling you, Shinjo was the man with the hair. he's like a superstar over there now. He manages over there. He's got a whole walkout
Oh,
team.
that's the guy with the snowmobile thing, the jet ski.
Yeah,
I know.
he's like
Yeah, okay.
he's a badass over there now.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, everybody talks about the Yankee pedigree and Matsui, or Hideki Matsui, and the other tard, what's his name, Tanaka, screw that. We got Sinjo and Ku and all these guys. We're straight. I'm tired of the Yankee pinstripe garbage. But I think before we get canceled, we should wrap it up. I appreciate every single one of you that spent your time with us. We got like 20, 30 people here. I can't believe it. I wouldn't. Don't you people have anything to do on a Friday night? I know I don't. I live in the middle of nowhere. Things close. Things close here at like 7 o'clock, Matt.
Hey, but you got pigs, man. My wife won't let me have pigs, so that puts you above me right now. I gotta build a little playpen back there.
Go ahead.
But my dog hates animals, so I don't know how that's gonna work. But that's my problem. That's not your problem. So
yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Next summer you can come out here. We can chop it up, do a show.
Yeah, Charlotte's Web and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you so much, Matt, for filling in for CP, who for some godforsaken reason was actually watching this crap. I don't understand it.
Thank you guys for having me, and I would love to definitely once free agency pops off, let's do something, man. Let's do something, the three of us, for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. One last comment, Subway to Shea. I appreciate you, buddy. Your show is great as well. You guys rock. I like the show. Subscribe to the channels, Met fans. Yes, definitely subscribe to my channel at Amish Country Mets fan. If I have a banner here somewhere, there it is. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to CP's channel, even though he's too busy out in California to live up to his commitments. No, I'm kidding. Subscribe to our guy Matt here. He's
at Sunny Days 516.
At Sunny Days 516. That's what it is. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Have a great weekend. Hopefully, Otani figures out what the hell he wants to do. Matt, take us out. What do you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Please get Yamamoto. Please get Yamamoto. Please.
That's a great way to end it. All right, everybody. Let's go, Mets. We shall see you when we see you. Where's the end? There it is.
Oh, that's awesome.
No, that ain't the right one. That's a single one.
That single one was pretty cool.
I don't normally do this.
Thank you for watching the Interstate Mets Report. Streaming Tuesdays at 5 p.m. and Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to @Amish Country Mets Fan